tournament play.
They will meet the number 12 seed from the Colonial Athletic Association.
This is Cougars Return to the Dance, sponsored by Hay Tire Pros. Here's News 4 Sports Director Scott Eisberg and Natalie Spalla.
Good evening and welcome to Orlando, Florida, where over the next 30 minutes we'll break down all angles of this College of Charleston magical run to the dance. We'll talk low country connections and basketball when it counts most. The Cougars hoping for some happy memories in the happiest place on earth. Good evening from Orlando. I'm Scott Eisberg. She is Natalie Spalla, and we are talking College of Charleston in the postseason, dancing for the first time since 2018 when they went to San Diego. What a trip that was, and now we are here, Natalie.
We sure are, and the Cougars in the midst of their greatest season ever, coming in 31-3. Coming in a 12 seed facing 5th seed San Diego State. The Cougars, they haven't lost a basketball game since February 2nd.
Amazing to think. As for those College of Charleston Cougars, they are looking good, and they step on the court today at the Amway Center, home of the Orlando Magic. They make final preparations for tomorrow's 3:10 matchup against the Aztecs. The college as confident as any team out there, and they feel they match up quite well. It's just about handling this stage.
A little of both, because one, we pride ourselves on consistency. You know, Scott, you've been in many, many press conferences, and I said this is as buttoned up, professional, mature of a team as I've ever coached. And I don't think I'll ever coach a team like this again with this type of special makeup. But heck yes, smell the roses. Heck yes, get above the trees and realize how lucky we are to you know, this dais, to be sitting up here right now. I tell recruits, right? So, heck yeah, man, I want them to enjoy the fact that they're here right now. The open practice, that's one of the cool things. My dad took me in 1987. Indiana was playing in the regional finals. Riverfront Coliseum got me out of school to go down and watch the open practice. And he actually got me out of practice or school to go watch Pete Rose go for his 4,000th hit when he was playing for the Montreal Expos. And Sister Rosemary Carmen asked him, "You're going to take him out of school to go down and watch the Reds game?" And he said, "Sister, he could either sit here and learn history, or he could go down to the ballpark and see it in person." So just cool that we get to take part in this open practice and all this stuff. Heck yes. Is there going to be butterflies? Yeah, but there's going to be butterflies for San Diego State too.
All right, Natalie, simply put, they are not here without one person, the general of this team, the head coach, Pat Kelsey.
Exactly, and he did this quickly. He's only in his second year. It's hard to remember that sometimes, but he was already given an extension, a 5-year extension by the college. He's getting himself more than $1 million a year, Scott.
Yeah, the spark plug kid from Cincinnati has a track record. 3 tournament berths at Winthrop. One of those tournaments not played because of COVID. So much of his success, his passion, his demeanor, he credits his mentors for. The late Skip Prosser, his biggest mentor. The other 2 greatest influences in his life, former Wake Forest head coach Dino Gaudio and Navy head coach Ed DeChellis. We caught up with both of them.
I said, "Kels, when I was in the locker room before the game, those guys were locked in." He goes, "Coach, they've been like that all year." And you know what, Scott? I think there's different ways to motivate. Like some guys motivate out of fear. But I genuinely think those kids are so together, they don't want to let each other down, and they don't want to let him down.
It's a pretty quick turnaround to make. Did you see this is happening in year 2?
Nah, it's I don't know what to think anymore with the transfer portal, and Kels has done a good job evaluating guys. You know, we had several breakfasts over at Paige Oka's Grill in the past summer too, and talked about his plan and so forth. And it's nice to see it all come to light. And no one's more deserving than Pat, and no one's more deserving than College of Charleston. So happy for both.
Now, Kelsey, a family-first guy, credits his wife for being his greatest recruit, his dad, his hero, his 2 daughters and son, his why. Nobody out front as much as Johnny Ballgame, however, becoming a national treasure on TV, sitting on the end of the bench game in, game out. The entire family dancing in Orlando with Pat.
How good of a job did your dad do this year?
Great job. It's been a really good season.
How much fun has this been for you on the bench every night?
It's very fun. Sometimes I get too scared and I have to go sit in the bathroom.
You have to go sit in the bathroom?
Sometimes I get too scared.
Well, starting at the beginning of the season and the start that we had was pretty phenomenal. The kids were, I don't know, it's just a great group of young men. And they play together, they enjoy each other, they love the game of basketball, and had a great coaching staff, and here we are.
How proud are you just of the name, of your name, and what it's become in college basketball?
Well, I'm obviously proud of my son, and he's worked very hard. But we have a business, and he's not a part of it. He loves what he's doing, and we're just thrilled to death.
Now that family atmosphere really does start from the top and trickles all the way down. CFC, they admit, however, they are a little less buttoned up.
Yeah, they're different than other teams. They bring their kids to work. Yes. They do things that are not normal in college basketball, and that starts with their athletics director, Matt Roberts.
That's the culture of our athletics department. It's a family department. I love seeing kids run around. I love seeing Johnny on the bench. I love seeing all of our other coaches have kids around the facilities, and I think it's a great message to send to our student athletes that family's important, family comes first, and somebody like Coach Kelsey, he embodies that. You see it in living color, and to be a part of that and experience it with these two knuckleheads that I have just makes it that much more special.
This day and age, you just simply don't win basketball games in college without the transfer portal.
Exactly, and in instances like this, College of Charleston has done a great job in finding that talent in some of the most unlikeliest of places. Well, that place for this school, West Liberty, the former home of both Dalton Bolin and Pat Robinson, the duo dynamic in D2 hoops. Bolin, the scrappy shooter, refused to be sidelined by injuries, even opted to wear an eye patch at one point. And then Robinson, the threat off the dribble, two guys using their former success to guide them through the season and lead them into the dance.
He said I came from a D2 school. Had a lot of success at that D2 school. We went dancing, we went all this stuff every year. It was kind of expected there, so it was something that we expected here. It's just awesome to see the support and how much it means to everybody around here.
But, I mean, playing at the D2 National Tournament was the highest stage I could have been playing at when I was there. So now that I'm here, it's just a different experience. Just something I knew I could do, but now that I'm doing it, just my experience and everything I learned from that tournament, I can try to carry with me.
Now, this is not all Pat Kelsey. Kelsey says you are only as smart as the people you hire. Brian Cloman, one of the best in the business, Kelsey's right-hand man, known nationwide for uncovering talent where others simply aren't looking. His best find yet may just be Ante Brzovic.
This guy, no coach ever in my life trusted me as he does. It was always hard. I remember June, July, August, I was nowhere to be found. He was with me, he was behind me, he was standing next to me, and he said I could keep going. And right now, when I'm here, I gotta thank him from the bottom of my heart. And without you, I wouldn't be here, man.
Love you, man. Love you.
I mean, you gotta get emotional hearing that.
Listen, I love these guys. This program is something that you dream about. Coach Kelsey does an unbelievable job of allowing us to be ourselves. And you see the result. You asked me earlier, did it surprise me that Coach Kelsey got this done after 2 years? Heck no.
There he said it. Let's talk a little bit about the opponent, San Diego State. The Aztecs 27-6 from the Mountain West Conference. They won the conference title as well. The common opponent, Colorado State. Cougs beat them once. San Diego State beat them 3 times. Programs pretty unfamiliar with each other, but mutual respect is there.
I saw Pat in the hallway, and like you said, Hay's in the barn. The Hay's been in the barn. Well, we've played a whole season. We're playing our best basketball now. They're playing their best basketball now. And so March is for players. Coaches they'll call the plays they've called. They'll make an adjustment or two, which we'll make. But someone's going to step up and have that magical moment in March. And so whether it's one play that saves a game or a game effort play, it'll be a play or two that'll separate the two teams at the end of the day. And which player is going to make that play, I don't know. Hopefully it's one of ours.
All right, so as we head to break tonight, let's take a look at one of the great tweets this week from Jeff Goodman of Sinclair-owned Stadium. He talks a little bit about travel difficulties. The NCAA saying you've got to be 400 miles from the location. College of Charleston falling just short of that to get the free airplane. They got their own airplane. They flew down, but they're going to take the NCAA's money and bus back. We'll see you after the break.
Orlando, in the madness of March, everyone has to be included, and the president of the College of Charleston certainly no exception. Remember, he is a rocket scientist, not a bracketologist, so perhaps why they ushered in our very own Scott Eisberg to help guide him along, if you will.
The line, and I'm assuming your job would not be stable if you didn't pick a certain 12 seed.
I want to keep my job. I need to pick number 12, Charleston.
All right, we'll go C of C on that line. Now, I'm not even going to ask you on that one, right? I don't even have to ask on that one?
Well, CofC has to win.
Right, now we are setting our final four. Do I have to ask on this one?
You don't.
I don't have to ask.
You don't.
All right, there you go. You know, they said when Obama used to pick the brackets, they called it bracketology. We need to have a name for you. We need a name for your bracket. How about we go with a shoo-in to win?
Sure.
Yeah, you like that? We can go with that. I like that one.
And College of Charleston is going to be the champion.
There we go.
The final score is 72 over 70. And that's my final bet.
A shoe-in. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Love that.
You know what? They cut out the part where he picked Oral Roberts, and he said, I'm going with Oral Roberts. And I said, oh, are you? I thought that was fantastic. I wish they had kept that in. I think I was the only one in the room to get it, but I thought it was a great joke.
That is a great
I recycled it
That
many
is a great
times,
joke.
but it's a good one.
All right, wonderful. Well, moving on, there is just something about a radio call, especially a home radio call, but even more importantly, the winning a radio call, Scott.
Oh, yeah. Everett German nailed it for the College of Charleston a couple of years ago when they punched their ticket in North Charleston. We're going to party like it's 1999. We're going to the dance. We're going to do the Charleston. Well, he did pretty well again.
Well, it never does, man. You know, it's a situation, Scotty, where, you know, to go to the big dance, that's what these kids practice for all year. And even as an announcer, to be able to be on that stage and be courtside and obviously just be able to call an NCAA tournament game, that's what it's all about. So looking forward to doing it again Thursday.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's been, we don't get here as much as I would like, but to just witness this team, everything, it's just special and unique. It's different. It's not only they've been selected, but I think they can do damage when they get there, and that's a unique feeling in itself.
Well, we have certainly learned being on a 31-3 team can quickly make you a celebrity in Charleston, or as they like to call it, our city. In today's landscape of college basketball, that means money, NIL deals, and of course, Jeff Chiat, son of former Clemson head coach Larry Chiat. Jeff, the agent who is getting several of these Cougars the green.
Pre-NIL, as an agent or representative, however you want to call it, you know, you're recruiting kids just as a college coach would recruit high school kids. And so now it gives us the opportunity to, you know, get into the community and really enhance their, you know, certain players' audience and build their brand in a positive way. NIL has opened up the opportunity for, you know, obviously the monetary value everybody knows about, but I think there's relationships now that are being built. We don't just go seek deals. We talk to our guys specifically, especially, you know, Ryan and Dalton, and say, what are your interests? What are your goals? What are your future goals?
Well, if you've been keeping tabs on our broadcast throughout the evening, you would know at this point that, Scott, Orlando, definitely the location for Low Country Finery here.
Yeah, it is like the second home of the 843, and it's really cool to see. It's really nice to see the moms and the dads and everyone come down. Furman head coach Bob Ritchie, an assistant coach under Barkley Radebaugh from 2006 to 2011. Now he is a head coach in the dance, leading the Paladins against Virginia for a chance to play the winner of Charleston and San Diego State. And he is not the only former CSU dancing. Mike Morrell, the head coach of UNC Asheville, also a former CSU assistant, although he is in Sacramento, I should say. Barkley Radebaugh proudly watching these two from the Low Country.
Bob is an elite basketball coach. When I mean elite, that's with a capital E. He knows and works. He studies. He wants to be a great head coach, and he's just a very, very special coach. As is Mike, just different and very unique and special in his own ways. Mike is big personality. You know, obviously both of those guys know how to recruit and know how to develop talent and know how to win. Mike won a ton of close games this year.
Now the star of Bob Ritchie's Furman Paladins, Somerville native, Pinewood Prep grad Jalen Slauson. He declared for the NBA draft last year, came back to school, wins SoCon Player of the Year, and gets a ticket to the dance. So I'd say safe to say pretty good decision from him.
So it means a lot to him. You know, he never got to experience one of these. One of the first things I did after the tournament ended was handed him a trophy and told him that he never got to hold one of those. It's kind of joking because I like to rag on the Citadel every now and then.
We all write about the portal, and we all write about how this player's leaving for this place, and it hits Twitter and the media of this NIL deal. How many stories are there going to be that they stayed? You know, like, is that a story anymore? It's not helping our game. And you have two players that did it differently. And now all of a sudden they're going to have their jersey in the rafters, and they didn't agree to a dime to do it.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff for them. He was talking about his dad, Jalen Slauson, who played for the Citadel. Tennessee, also here in Orlando, they have got a date with Louisiana Lafayette, the Ragin' Cajuns, for Porter Dowd, Brad Josiah, Jordan James. This is a curtain call, if you will, and it's another big dance appearance.
Awesome. You know, basketball for me, ever since I've been a young kid, it's been a family affair. Basketball runs through our whole family. It's all I've known since growing up. And so, you know, just being able to have my family come and support me, it means the world to me. Everybody on my mom's side, everybody on my dad's side, you know, just coming together. They always tell me no matter how I play, no matter what the score is, they're just proud of me because they've been able to travel and watch me play places that they never would have thought of going.
You see, Natalie, if you're driving to Ann Arbor or East Lansing, where you would typically drive at home in Michigan, you wouldn't see the greatest gas station that's ever been created ever.
He's talking about Buc-ee's, for those of you who don't know. And Sports4, of course, had to make a little bit of a surprise appearance to get a sense or a whiff, if you will, of what those Buc-ee's faithful, who they're riding with this week. Take a listen.
You're at Buc-ee's in Florida, and you're looking. There is fresh turkey on the board. Good question. Cougars or Aztecs? Tomorrow night, what do we think? Cougars or Aztecs in the big dance? Cougars! Cougars? Cougars? Going for it. She's going Cougars. Sure.
Sausage cheese, jalapeno kolache. I also have a question. Cougars or Aztecs? That's first assumption.
Cougars! There's two for Cougars. Cougars or Aztecs?
Absolutely Cougs. I'm a Coug.
You're a Coug?
Yeah, I'm a Coug.
Like a College of Charleston Cougar?
No, not a University of Houston Cougar.
Oh, University of Houston Cougar. Is there any other Cougar? No. Well, there is another Cougar. Years ago, our current photojournalist Darren Stoltzfus and I got to go to San Diego to talk about the College of Charleston, now San Diego State, coming here. Natalie Spalla goes behind enemy lines with a guy who reports on them in San Diego.
If you don't play defense, you don't play.
at San Diego State. So you have to be able to find a way to score against 5 guys who will be defending hard all game long, picking up the ball, full court. It's 40 minutes of strong defense for San Diego State. That's the signature of the program.
What is going to make this team so dangerous going up against a team like Charleston?
The Aztecs are very balanced and very deep. Usually they outscore the bench of the opposition consistently by 15 to 20 points every game. Their subs that they put in are just as good as their starters. So they usually take advantage when, most college teams go to the bench. There's a drop off. With the Aztecs, there's not. So you can see a close game for the first, 8 or 9 minutes. And all of a sudden, why San Diego State up 10? Well, the benches went in and San Diego State's bench tended to dominate.
Last time Pat Kelsey was dancing, he kind of went viral, and he should have. Look at the picture he tweets from a late-night lift in the bubble. The dude was shredded. I asked Kelsey this week if he had any plans to do the same this time around.
Eli had me dialed in on my diet, dialed in. And I got to admit, I've been a little bit less disciplined here right now. So I'd have the 1,000,000% dad body right now if I were to take off my shirt. Dad bodies are in, from what I hear, but it's not something that I'm quite all that proud of. But when Eli gets me locked in, both on my nutrition and my film, or in my lifting, maybe in a couple months I'll take off my shirt at the pool and not embarrass my kids too much.
Good stuff right there. Nat, what a special season it's been for the college.
It certainly has, and no matter what transpires in this next week, I want to go back to when I was at a watch party last week for these Cougars. So many fans just so proud of this team for so many reasons. Yes, they want to see them be successful this week at the tournament, but all around the city, so proud of this team. So much to look forward to in the years ahead as well.
And it looks like we'll have Pat Kelsey in the years forward right here in Charleston, or we're in Orlando, but he'll be back in Charleston because he's going to make a lot of money. For Natalie Spalla, I'm Scott Eisberg. Have a great night, everybody.